Hey, everybody. We are live, back in business with the Immigration Answer Show. I see we got some people already in the waiting room, and we'll get to you in just a minute or two. I am working from home today. I'm getting ready to leave for an immigration interview tomorrow in Virginia. I will, let's see, I'm going to put the link in the comments if people want to ask us a question. They can do that. Here's the link. President-elect Joe Biden has announced a few of his cabinet appointees, which is exciting. The man that he's nominated for Secretary of State is a longtime federal official, someone who has a lot of experience. The secretaries of state that Donald Trump had in place were the former head of Exxon, Rex Tillerson, and then Mike Pompeo, who was a congressman from Kansas. So I'm excited to see that we're going to have people who actually know about working in the government. The Secretary of State nominee is a guy named Tony Blinken, and people who are in the know are real excited about him being the next Secretary of State. And his oh, sorry about that. His stepfather was a survivor of the Holocaust, so I think he's going to have a real empathetic bent towards immigrants, which is what we need. And then a former head of USCIS, Alejandro Mayorkas, who I think is a first-generation American, is going to be the new head of Homeland Security, assuming these people get confirmed. So some exciting changes coming down for those in charge of our immigration process. And of course, Joe Biden will take office on January 20th, and then those people will have to be confirmed by the Senate. But we should be seeing some changes at the top of the two main agencies that deal with USCIS. So we're excited about that. Without anything further, we're going to go ahead and get to your questions. So let me turn that off. And let's go to Abhishek. Abhishek, are you with us?
Hello, Jim. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, I have multiple questions to ask.
Well, you only get to ask one, so it's got to make it your best question because I can't answer multiple questions.
Okay, I will ask. So, I'm 19 years old from Nepal. My mother applied I-130 for me, and I had an interview on March 4th, 2020. So after interview, it goes well, but after interview, counselor told me to submit one missing document, that is my sister, my joint sponsor tax return and my mother tax return, recent years and W2. So I submitted it. Then the status on CAC start changing, like from administrative processing to refuse to ready, then administrative to ready. Then now it's not updating. So what should I do, Jim?
Is your mother a U.S. citizen?
No, she is a green card holder.
Right. So right now, the embassies can't give you that visa.
Yeah, they are telling, they are emailing me like that. My further processing of my case is on hold due to proclamation. So it's been like more than 6 months.
Right. Well, the proclamations are set to expire at the end of December. I think
Yes.
that Trump might extend it to January 20th. We'll see if he does or not. But
Yeah.
the embassy won't be able to do anything. So I think that you should just sit tight and wait to see if you haven't heard anything by January, February. I mean, you could sue them
Yes.
now. You could sue them now if you wanted to. But
Uh,
and I think that'll put you at the front of the line. But that depends if you want
mhm.
to spend the $4,000 on suing them or not.
So Jim, if my case returned to the USCIS, then what should we have to do? Like,
No, they're
If
not, they're
if
not returning it. They're just sitting on it until the proclamation's over.
Oh, okay, thanks
All right,
Tim,
good luck.
that's my
All right. That was good talking to Abhishek from Nepal. Let's go ahead and talk to DV.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a pilot? Geez, DV disappeared. DV, try and come back on. I don't know what happened. Looks like you might have hit something on your phone. Here he comes. DV's back.
Is that better?
I gotcha.
All right, great. Question for you, Jim. Thanks for taking me.
Sure.
Can you enter and exit the U.S. multiple times on the IR1 visa before receiving your physical green card?
Well, that's a good question. That'd be a good video for me to make. But the answer to your question is yes. In theory, you can. It looks like you're a pilot and probably someone who has to enter and exit the United States often. Am I guessing right?
Well, the question is, I'm the U.S. citizen spouse. My wife, she's from Hong Kong. She's about to get the IR1 when she goes to the U.S. consulate in Hong Kong here soon. But she took a temporary job in the country of Panama. And so we're looking at her getting her IR1, coming to the U.S. to check in, and then going down to Panama to continue her job for like 3 or 4 months, so less than the 6 months. And of course, because I'm a pilot, I can easily bring her the green card once it comes in the mail, which I think is correct. But just trying to get some advice on our kind of interesting situation.
From a purely immigration standpoint, which of course is the only way that I can answer because people have to live their lives and start their jobs and all that stuff. But from a purely immigration standpoint, the best thing to do is to get the visa, pay the LS fee, come through customs, give them the sealed envelope, wait in the United States until you get your green card, and then go into Panama. That's the best way. I've seen situations, two different types of situations. If you come and go right away, you can screw them up and you never get your green card. It's not that it'll come to your house, it just doesn't come.
Is it because, if she showed up with the green card after I brought it to her when she left Panama, they would be confused because she left without the green card, I guess?
No, what I'm saying is the green card wouldn't actually come.
Oh, really?
That's the concern. The concern is that the green card doesn't come. And I know this isn't how it really is, but in my mind, the way I picture it is if you don't come and wait long enough for you to get your green card, then sometimes it doesn't come.
Because they'll know you left on a flight.
Yeah.
And you've seen that happen?
I have seen that happen. I've seen it happen probably 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay. And then
the other thing that you have to worry about is always, well, if she comes and goes, like, I don't know how many times they're going to let her do that.
Right.
It doesn't sound like you're looking for multiple entries. You're just wondering, I mean, what I would say is ask Panama to just hold off 4 or 5 weeks until you get your green card and then go if you can.
Yeah, so if she could, check in the U.S. in January, hopefully wait for the green card till February maybe.
Yeah.
And then finish her job, which she'll end in June, and then come to the U.S. for good then.
Yeah, my understanding is that the landing in the United States time until the green card comes is about 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks currently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And then follow on to that, when does your lawful permanent residency officially begin?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so is it when she gets to the U.S. the first time, or would it be, if she left to go to Panama for a few months, would it be after she came back, or is it when she gets the green card, or?
Yeah, so officially, and this was the next topic I wanted to bring up. Officially, it's the date on the green card. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that she gets her visa in Hong Kong, comes to the United States, gets her green card, and then leaves and stays in Panama for 6 months. Let's just say, and then under the rules, she could apply for citizenship 3 years from the start date on the green card, right?
Okay. But sorry, you're breaking up. Let me try to get a.
That's okay. So I don't know if you can hear me now, but if not, you can see the replay because we'll replay this. It'll be on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
If she goes to Panama for the first 6 months of her lawful permanent residence, and then she applies for citizenship right at the 3-year mark, I've seen them say, well, you didn't really reside here for those first 6 months. So even though you had your green card, you really had to wait 3 years from when you started residing in the United States to apply for your citizenship. That's very subjective, but I've seen that screw up people's naturalization applications. So if that happened, I would say just wait until she's here in the United States and wait 3 years and then apply for citizenship.
Okay. And then lastly, is there a limited time for her to travel to U.S. after the consulate grants her an IR1? Does she have like a month?
So my understanding is it depends on the validity of her medical exam. Like they'll give her a stamp on her visa, and if she had her medical right before the embassy interview,
She will.
It should be 4 months.
Should be how many months?
4.
I can't.
4.
Okay.
4 months. And
Wow.
so so she needs to get here sooner rather than later. Sometimes people have an older medical and they get like a 10-day window to come to the United States.
Wow. Okay. So what I'm hearing is 4 months after the IR1 is granted, and then entering and exiting. I guess you'll have 6 months. But yeah, hey, that's pretty good. Hey, I'll have to redo the YouTube because it kind of broke in and out there.
All right, bud.
But,
good luck. Where are you flying to?
I'm in Bangor, Maine right now. I'll be flying to DC here.
I'm going
about an hour.
Yeah, I'm flying to DCA. I'm leaving here. I'll be flying into Reagan in about 5 hours.
Okay, well, I'll be a Dulles, so.
Oh, you'll be Dulles. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, have a safe trip.
All right. Hey, thanks so much, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, bud. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to I'm going to post the link again here for people that want to join. And we'll go ahead and talk to Monica. Monica G.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing so great. Thank you very much. So I have a question for you. So on last Thursday, 19, I had my marriage green card interview. It went well. I think, went well. And then the officer said that our case was approvable and that she just needed to review some documents, I guess, the medicals and the documentation that we gave her. She didn't ask for anything at that point, which seemed kind of weird to me, but she didn't ask for anything, and she didn't give us also any letter after that. And then she was saying that she was going for vacations for 2 days. I mean, coming back yesterday, and that in a couple of days she will give her decision, right? So, but what happened is, we had a trip coming up, and I have an unexpired I-31. So I'm just curious, like, being my green card in, like, right now the status says interview complete and case must be reviewed. Is it gonna affect me if I travel outside, even though I have a valid travel permit?
So at first I thought you said it was expired. Are you saying it's not expired?
Yeah, sorry, it's not expired. It expires in January.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got it straight. So you have a pending green card application. You had your interview. You think you're about to get a decision, hopefully an approval.
Yeah.
You have travel already scheduled.
Yeah.
And you're wondering if is it safe to go with the I-131 the approved travel document that you got on your account.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's gonna be like invalid, but like if my green card gets approved or denied, whatever reason it is, right? Is it gonna affect my 131?
So what I want to say is that number one, that traveling now during Corona as an immigrant is risky, right? So you never know what's going to happen as far as closing the borders and things. I think you're going to be fine. So putting aside, I'm not a coronavirus expert, but putting that part to the side, we've probably had 5 or 6 situations in the past where someone was in your exact situation. In other words, they had travel, their green card got approved while they were gone, and they were able to re-enter the United States without a problem. So I don't think that you would have a problem, but obviously I can't guarantee it. I don't think you would. I think you'd be fine. and the people that I've seen do it before were fine, but I just can't guarantee it.
Right. And do you know like how long do they take to review their cases? Have you seen that thing before, that it takes like say 1 month, 2 months, 2 weeks? Or
In the old days, I would say 40 or 50% of them got approved on the spot. Now, very few get approved on the spot, and I'd say now 50% get approved in the first 30 days, and then more, the other 50% after 30 days. So it's pretty rare now that you find out. Every now and then you'll find out on cases pretty quickly,
right.
but not nearly like we used to.
Okay.
All right, good luck. Hopefully your
Thank-
green card's coming soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Monica waiting for her green card. If you guys want to ask me a question, I put the link. We got the link down in the chat on both YouTube and Facebook. I'm probably not going to be able to answer questions that are actually in the chat. So if you want to come in and ask me something, you'll need to get in the room, and I'll be happy to answer it. We're going to go to Sri next. Sri.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for taking me. So I'm a college student studying in California, and I've been living in the US since 2007 on the H-4 dependent visa, and I'm going to be turning 21 soon. So I applied for the change of status to the F1 visa on March 25th, and I was expecting to get it by September, but now the processing time almost doubled. So I'll be turning 21 soon, and I still don't have my F1 visa. So what options do I have in this case? Can I still stay in the US on the pending authorized stay?
How long till your birthday?
My birthday is on January 1st, so I just have 1 month left. Yeah.
If I were you, I would sue them.
Okay. Really?
That's the only way you're going to get to the front of the line. And we've had really good success on those kinds of cases. I think that it's your best bet to be able to continue going to school.
Yeah.
I think if you don't do it, you're going to be, because they changed the rule a while ago that in order to change status, you have to be invalid status up until the time that you actually change. So a month left is pretty tight. You actually have 5 weeks. So
yeah.
What I would do is I'd sue them, and then I would also reach out to them and say, look, I got this special case. This kid's going to turn 21 in January, and we need to get this thing wrapped up quickly. You don't have a lot of time left.
Okay. How soon do you think you could help me sue them by any chance?
Yeah. We do it all the time, and we could get it on file in the next day or two.
So far, I contacted USCIS, and they placed an alert for my biometric because I still haven't gotten that.
Yeah.
And I also contacted my congressman, so I'm still waiting to hear on that. But if you think suing is the best option for now, I think I'm ready to do that. Another thing is, my family also applied for the I-485 for the EB2. So would that be a complication in getting my student visa? Because I technically filed a immigrant petition.
When did they file for the green card?
Just a month ago. So it was after I filed for the change of status.
It was the I-140 or the 485 they filed?
485.
Yeah, so if you had come to see me ahead of time, I would have said wait until, unless they had to, I would have said wait until you get your change, because now you've demonstrated immigrant intent by being included on the green card application, which is inconsistent with getting an F1. So that might make it a little tricky to get it approved.
Oh, okay. Would I be able to contact your office for
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Why don't you send an email, Sri, to my colleague. Her name's Laura Clark, LCLARK, L Clark, LCLARK at hackinglawpractice.com, and she'll get you squared away.
Okay. Sounds great. Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
I'm sure she's watching, so she'll be ready for you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Tree. Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
Okay, bye. All right. That sounds like a little bit of a tricky situation. All right. We got plenty of room in the waiting room. If anybody wants to get in, let me put the note. We're going to go ahead and talk to Amir here in just a second. People, if you want to ask me a question, you got to get in the waiting room so that you can ask. I can't keep up with the chat because there's so many comments. So here we go. Let's go to Amir. Hi, Amir.
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Good. So I filed my I-485 based on EB2 in July 2019, and we are waiting since then. And we don't have any update from August 2019 on our I-485. I have my advance parole, and I want to travel in March. So it seems because of my nationality, I wouldn't have any update on my green card approval or in these kind of things soon. I'm Iranian again, as I mentioned before. So my question is that if I travel abroad, for example, going to Iran, and if I wanted to come back and something happened in the airport, and for example, they want to keep us, or they just say, we don't want to let you in, and these kind of things, what is the solution at this point?
There's nothing to do at that point. People call me often before their travel and they say, Jim, I want to have you on standby. If I try to re-enter the United States and they don't let me in, what should I do? And my answer to that is, when I have encountered those situations, usually they hang up on me at CBP. You have very little rights entering and exiting the United States, and Customs and Border Patrol has a lot of discretion in who they let into the United States. So my thought would be, Amir, instead of traveling now, why not sue them? Because I'm of the opinion that for most men from Iran, the only way you're getting a green card is if you sue them. Your case should have been approved a long time ago, or at least set for an interview a long time ago. And I would focus on trying to get the green card situation taken care of before I travel, as opposed to continue waiting and then traveling.
Don't you think that there would be any change after the new administration get the control of the USCIS and the other processes?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to take at least a year or two. Things in immigration really got a lot worse with Trump about a year or two in, so it's going to take him a long time to undo everything. And number two, I think that the concern with Iranian men actually existed before Trump.
Yeah.
And so I do think things are going to get better. But I also think that if you want your green card anytime soon, the only way that's going to happen is if you sue them.
If I apply today, if I file today, I ask you to file today, how long does it take, do you think?
What city do you live in?
Milwaukee?
Milwaukee? Okay. Yeah, I would say probably 4 months.
4 months.
4 or 5 months.
Okay. So can I ask about the approximation of the cost, or it's...
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's a flat fee. It's all over the internet. So the filing fee is $400, and our fee is $3,600. So it's $4,000 altogether. And then if you have other family members that you want to include in the lawsuit, we just charge $500 extra per person.
Do I have to do it, or they just automatically approve them along with me, or I need to put them in the file in the lawsuit?
I don't know, Amir, because I always include them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, brother. Take care. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right. That was it from Amir. The waiting room is completely open. I have no one waiting to ask a question. So if you want to get in there, come on in and ask me a question. I see we got about 100 people viewing, so I'm sure some of you have questions. This is your chance to ask the questions. I can't answer questions from the chat just because it's too hard to keep up with them, and they sort of move off my screen over time. So hopefully some people will come in, or we could just cut today's session a little bit short. I do have to get to the airport because I have an immigration interview tomorrow in Fairfax, Virginia. But I'm happy to stick around and chit chat for a little bit. It looks like we did have some people with good questions. Hopefully some of them will come in and join us. Amir brings in Amir. Okay, some people are saying they can't get in. Huh. Make sure you're in the right waiting room. Hold on, let me make sure that I have the right waiting room. Here is the link, and I will post it again right here. That's the link that you need to use. If you're not using that one, go ahead and use that one, and we'll get people in here. That's weird. I've been having some trouble with the links. All right, here we go. Some people are coming in. And let's go to Thanasis. It really helps if you guys stay on camera. It makes the show a little bit more interesting, but of course it's up to you. So, Thanasis, you are next on the show. Thanasis, you still with us? I saw you pop up there for a minute. There he is. I think you're muted, or I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. All right, buddy. All right, see ya. All right, let's go to Kevin.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing? That's a sharp beard you got there, Kevin.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
What's up?
All right, so this is what's going on. So I have a green card, and I'm from Nicaragua, and I got it through marriage.
Yeah.
I've been a permanent resident for about almost 2.5 years.
Okay.
And I have my mom come over to help me because my wife and I were having a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, well, this is that was our second baby. Now we're about our third. and and so my mom came here to visit. She was helping us with the baby, and we were moving to a different home. And she stayed with us for about 5 months. And then her and I went to Costa Rica after the 5 months to visit, and she lives there. But when we went back, she got an email saying that her visa was revoked. Okay, she went to the embassy, and then she was told that the visa was revoked because her husband was deported from Canada and sent to the US. But they confused the name for my uncle. When she went to the embassy, and she gave him all the paperwork that was not her husband, that was my uncle. But they still revoked her visa, and I don't know what to do because I want to bring her over because we're having our third baby, and my wife really likes to help. And
what was the last day that mom was in the United States?
That was March 2019. I think that was March 2nd, 2019.
I think most likely mom's not coming.
Really?
There's not much you can do. It's completely discretionary. How many trips did mom make to the United States?
About 3.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily has that much to do with your uncle or the misidentification. I think it might just be that they have a green card holder son who's about ready to be eligible for citizenship. And mom, if she comes on another visit visa, could just jump the line and son could apply for a green card for her, even if she has no intention of staying full time.
Okay, so I should wait until I get my citizenship?
What I'm saying is, as you get closer to citizenship, the more likely they think it is that she's just going to come and stay and wait for you to get your citizenship and then apply for a green card for her. So even if she just wants to come for a short visit, they're probably not going to give it to her.
And nobody in my family, like my dad or my siblings?
They can all try. Everyone can try. It doesn't, I mean, it's just the cost. She can try again, but just don't get your hopes up, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. And what are the odds of her getting a green card after I become a citizen?
You mean, will they hold it against her that she tried to come on a visit and got denied?
Yeah.
No, they won't. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, that's, I mean, as long as she didn't say anything that wasn't true, everything will be fine.
All right. Okay. Yeah, because she asked the officer and she was like, when can I apply for another visa? And she was like, well, whenever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd let some time settle, maybe 2 or 3 months, and then apply.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, because that was like last year.
All right, Kevin. We'll see you later, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye. All right. let's see here. Let's go to Iqbal. Iqbal.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, Iqbal. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so I got my asylum approved in August this year, and I'm planning to submit my I-485. But I just got married 2 weeks back. I just wanted to know what are the options for my wife. She's already in US as an F1 student. And if I still have to wait for my green card to arrive and then apply for her, what are the forms that I need to look at?
Okay, so you have received asylum.
Yes.
And you received asylum in August of 2020.
Yes.
And you'd be eligible to apply for a green card
on 1st of August 2021.
And you're marrying an F1 student.
I'm already married.
You married an F1 student. Is she about to graduate anytime soon?
No. She just joined this fall.
So this is an interesting question, Iqbal, that I actually don't know the answer to. I mean, I know part of it, but I'm not sure about one thing. I don't think that as someone who has received asylum, you can convey any immigration benefit to her if she's inside the United States until you get your green card. I don't think there's a form called an I-730 that if she were overseas, you could apply to bring her here as a spouse of an asylee. I just have never done it for someone in the United States. That's one thing. So I don't know that it would work. It might, but I'd have to research that. And number two, I think you might not want to mess with that. Just wait till you get your green card. Let her stay in her F1 status, and then when you apply for your green card, you can apply for her as well.
Okay.
I think that's the right answer, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, and also I was also on an F1 status when I got my asylum status. So what happened to that F1 status? Is that automatically gone?
You mean, yeah, like, are you thinking you'd apply for an F2 for her so that she could stop going to school?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I would not play around with that too much because that could be risky.
Okay, and once I get my green card, do we file the I-130 and I-485 together, or it has to be separate? Like first we have to get the 130 approved.
This is really good question, Iqbal. I don't know the answer. Boy, you think an immigration lawyer who holds himself out with a TV show and everything would know everything, but I don't know. I think you would. I think that you would each file 485s. I don't think you'd have to file an I-130.
Okay.
I think, but these are all good questions. I'd have to research it, Iqbal. Maybe I can check it out, and you know what? I'll make a video about it. I'll research.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you.
A video. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Thank you.
Do me a favor, bud. Shoot me an email, info@hackinglawpractice.com, and just remind me to do the video, and I'll do it over the weekend.
Okay, I will give a subject line and refer to this video also. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Iqbal. See you, buddy. Sorry to know the answer.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, Kenny's next. Kenny.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So my question is again related to pending I-485.
Okay.
I applied for it last January, and I'm still waiting. And I also applied for my work permit a bit late due to coronavirus. So I don't have a work permit currently, and also my adjustment of status is pending, and that's based on asylum. So I want to get it expedited. Do you have any suggestions? Or
yeah, there's no such thing as expediting. I just made a video. It'll drop this week about how the amount of people I have ask about expediting versus the times that it actually works is exponential. So just let me back up for a minute. So when did you receive asylum?
I got my asylum in February of 2019. But the funny thing is, I got it through immigration court, and the decision came 1 year later. So my court was in 2018, and judge gave the answer in 2019.
Got it.
Waiting a long time.
And then you applied for your green card in 2020.
Yeah.
And you didn't. When you applied for your green card, you didn't apply for the work card at the same time.
No, because it was active at that moment, at that time, and I did not.
Active that you still had one. You mean?
Yeah, I had one.
From when you were in deportation court.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a lesson for everybody. If you are ever eligible to apply for a work card, even if you already have one, always file for the new one as well.
Oh.
If, in your case, it's free.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't cost anything extra. It's added to the green card fee. So, okay, so now you're sort of without a work card, and you're wondering, what can I do to speed it up?
Yeah.
I don't think anything, sadly. I don't think there's any way to make it go faster.
I know you've been talking about suing them. Would it apply to my situation?
It's it's too early to sue them.
Too early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. So let's go to Siddiq John.
Oh, thank you. Finally. Hello, Mr. Jim.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. There are actually so many people waiting the wrong link. They're asking. So
yeah, that's what happens when I run it myself. That's me putting in the wrong link again, just like last week. So
yeah,
yep, we got the right link now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, not a problem. So the question is, though, because of the pandemic, the many people, as I know, they lost their job. So my father, they filled me I-130. So his yearly income last year was more than 26,000, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, is there any kind of the feedback, the positive side, or kind of how much is this year should be annual income to the, if he fills me, the I-130?
So what I always say for someone who doesn't have anybody else on their taxes, that they need 3 years of $30,000 a year at least.
For one person.
For one person, that's right.
So the question is if he has not annual 3 years 30,000, what he should do?
He needs a co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor. The co-sponsor should be the kind of blood relative or someone else.
It doesn't have to be a relative. It just has to be a green card holder or a U.S. citizen who's willing to say, if Siddiq John comes to the United States and Siddiq John gets a couple of benefits and Siddiq John can't pay the government back for those benefits and dad doesn't pay them back, then I, the co-sponsor, will pay them back.
I got it. Well, what about this year? It's the same. I think
for a single person, if you get 30 for 3 years, you're always going to be safe for now.
Yeah. And because of the coronavirus, there is no any. The reduction of the fee end of 20,000. Nope.
Nope.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. All right, Syed is back. Is up next. Syed, how are you?
Hey Jim, how are you? Doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey Jim, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
I got married in US and I got approved for my temporary green card on 2019 or the 1st of January 2019, and I have filed my paper to remove the condition and to get a permanent green card because it's been 2 years married,
Yep.
So I have a question, how long it takes for the process to get completed and when I can file my N-400 paper?
Yeah. So I've done a couple of videos on this side, but basically, so let's back up a little bit. In the old days, an I-751 would take 3 or 4 months to get approved, if you can believe it. Now it takes 18 months. And as you know, if you get a green card based on marriage and you file your I-751 on time, and it's going to take them 18 months now to process it, you know that the time comes for you to be able to apply for citizenship before you have a decision on the 751. And so when I first realized that this is what USCIS was doing, I got really mad, as I do. I have a bit of a temper.
Mhm.
And I said, screw those assholes. I'm going to tell all my clients, you file that N-400 on the first day
Mhm.
and let them deal with it as far as the difference between the 751 and the N-400. And I thought I was really smart.
Mhm.
Then what happened was I started, and in our office, we started going to these interviews where somebody had a pending 751 and a pending N-400. Sometimes the 751 file got to the field office, but the N-400 file didn't. Sometimes the N-400 file got there, but the 751 file didn't.
Oh.
Sometimes the officers knew how to do a naturalization interview, but didn't know how to do a 751 interview, because in the old days, you usually didn't have an interview on a 751.
Okay.
So then what we started seeing, Syed, is all this confusion. And then you'd show up and they'd be like, I flew to somewhere in New York.
Mhm.
And I went to the interview and the officer was like, well, I've never done a 751. I don't know how to do this, so I can't do the N-400. So luckily we got a supervisor and found someone and made a big stink.
Mhm.
It all worked out. But now I'm telling people, don't file your N-400 until you get the 751 squared away. Now, hopefully with Biden, a lot of this crap's going to get faster.
Mhm.
But I think that as much as you want to be able to apply for citizenship, unless you have some really compelling reason to do it,
Mhm.
I would say wait until you get the 751 approved to then apply for the N-400.
So for N-400, do I have to find a sponsor again, or it will be?
You don't need a sponsor for the 751 or the N-400.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because when I did my initial documentation, I got an RFE that I need that my sponsorship is very low.
Once you get that first green card, then you don't have to worry about that currently anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
That was nice talking to Syed. Nice fellow with a frequent question that we get. Let's go to Tala. Oh, I wonder if this is my Tala.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good, Tala. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So recently, me and my wife applied for a green card in July this year, and we got our green card EAD 2 month and a half ago. So,
Okay.
and 2 weeks ago, we found out that my wife's pregnant.
Okay.
So, and the current employer that I have does not provide health insurance, and the problem, they do provide it, but the health insurance people were like, no, we're not going to give you any pregnancy benefits, and I have to cover the cost. Luckily, I found another job which would pay me more and cover all those benefits, but they said that you need to be on a green card to apply to get this job, because green card EAD expires in 1 year, and this is a full-time position. So is that a good enough reason for me to expedite my green card request, or they'll be like, no?
You can try. I don't think they'll do it. And I didn't get to finish that one caller's question earlier about expediting. USCIS acts like expediting is a real thing, but in my experience, they don't do it. And if they do say, oh, hey, guess what, Tala, we've decided to expedite your case, then they still take as long as they always do. So it's not so much that I don't think you have a good excuse or not. It's that I don't put much stock in it.
Okay. So my request went to the Texas Service Center, and they're saying when I contact USCIS, they're like, yeah, wait for 9 to 31 months. Is it usually that long, or do you think?
No, that's just what they're saying. This is an employment-based green card, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just what they say. But we haven't been seeing it take that long. We've been seeing those take about 16 to 18 months.
Okay. My other question was, right now I am on H-1B work visa. If I convince them to take me on GCEAD, my H-1B will go away, right?
Well, my advice, if you're going to pull that off, is you're going to be in a stronger immigration position if you renew or transfer your H-1B. It's going to be more for the employer, so they might not want to do it. But from your point of view, given the trouble we've been seeing with H-1B extensions and change of employers, it's safer for you to insist that if they want you, that they do the H-1B transfer.
They said that we do not sponsor any visas. There has to be.
Then you have to ask yourself, am I confident in my green card? Am I worried about it? I mean, I always try to encourage people to maintain their H-1B status while their employment-based green cards are pending.
Okay. So right now, the only thing that we are worried about was that we didn't provide any sponsors to them. We said that we are both self-sufficient to apply for a green card. If we combine both our salaries, it's $200K. Do you think that's enough? Or do we need a sponsor for it?
Yeah, it sounds like that should be enough.
Okay, so I should not take the new job then if they don't sponsor.
I'm just telling you from an immigration standpoint, you're in a stronger position if you are on an active H-1B while you're waiting to adjust. But yeah, you could, but I always get a little bit worried about that because I've just seen some things go off the rails.
So what do you think are the chances of a employment-based green card denial?
It's hard to say. I mean, I could look up the stats. I bet the stats are, 75, 80% get approved.
Okay. So what are the usually reasons for them to deny it?
There's might be an inadmissibility problem. That would be a crime or something, or unauthorized work in the past. That's generally it.
So I've maintained my H-1B throughout. My wife's maintained her OPT status. No crimes. We have never committed any crime.
Yeah. It sounds like you're in good shape. I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It just sounds like you're in a pretty good spot. Okay.
I had one other question about my mother. Sorry about that.
No, I can't get to another set of questions. Sorry, bud.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, see ya.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Rafat.
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Rafat. How are you?
I'm fine. I had applied for a petition because I'm parent of a U.S. citizen, and it is moved from USCIS to NVC, and we have submitted all the papers he need. But I got one problem in affidavit support because my son is still a student. He's still a student. He study engineering in United States, and he work like part-time job and stuff like that. Actually, I support him, and I bought like 100,010 in the bank account under his name, and we bought this like an asset, and I have also property and bought assets, and his income is about 11,000 or something in last year, because as I told you, he is working as a part-time job.
Sure.
And do you think this is what will work or not?
You're gonna have a much easier time if you find a co-sponsor than if you try to get them to take into account the $110,000 that you put into his bank account. It's very, very difficult.
Very difficult
to get them to pay attention to that. It's so much easier to get a co-sponsor.
Okay. And last question, do you know how long it takes in National Visa Center to reply to me and or not?
When did you?
How long it take?
Yeah. When did you pay your fees at the NBC?
2 months ago, probably. Yeah.
When did you submit your after support and all the checklists and everything?
Yeah, about months and a half.
Yeah, I would say probably another month and a half before you hear something.
Okay, but in this way, okay. Last question, please. Can I heard I read actually in the website the immigrant itself, can I put like a household and I put my assets and stuff like that and my
Yeah,
income?
that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, Rafat. They say all those things, and those things are all in theory possible, but in reality, the only way
Doesn't
to
work.
the fastest way to do it is get a co-sponsor.
Co-sponsor. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So and 864A, right? I-864A. Yeah.
That's only if they live in the same house as your son. If not, they'd file their own I-864. Or you'd file it for them.
Okay.
All right,
For
Rafat, good luck,
because
buddy. We'll see you next time.
okay, see you, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciating.
You got it. All right, let's go to Rob. Rob is next. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for doing this. So I had a couple of questions about the EB3 and a pending asylum case. So I have a pending asylum case right now, and it's with the immigration court. But I was wondering if I was eligible for an EB3, could I apply for it right now? And if I could, then how would that work? Would the immigration judge adjudicate the case?
So my understanding is that asylum is not generally a status from which one can adjust.
Okay.
The only exception is if the asylum case was filed while the immigrant was in valid non-immigrant status, visa status,
Right.
and that their case remained pending at the asylum office until the adjustment part was completed.
Okay. So it would still have to be at the asylum office and not the immigration court?
My understanding is that once the case gets sent to the immigration court, the immigrant loses the ability to adjust. And even when it's still at the asylum office, it's tough to get them to understand that and to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're in the immigration court, it's impossible. You lose the court doesn't have the authority to do it.
I see. Okay, so the only exception would be for a marriage case.
That's
the
right.
only time you could adjust it and still have a pending asylum case.
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay. So even if I had an approved EB3 case, then I would have to leave the country to go get the green card.
Yeah, and you might have unlawful presence too.
So I came here on a B2, and I applied for the asylum before my 6 months expired.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've accrued any unlawful presence.
I don't either, but I'd want to research it and nail it all down before you actually left.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks,
Good
Jim.
luck.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Yep.
bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right. We're going to go to Hassan. Hi, Hassan. I think you're muted, buddy. I can't hear you, Hassan. We will come back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Hassan? All right, we'll come back to Hassan. Let's go to Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Hi, Heather. How you doing? Go ahead, Heather. Oh, yeah, the room's full, everybody. Heather's not. Okay, let's go to, let's see, Mimo. Hi, Mimo.
Hi there, Jim. Can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I just have one question, if you have the time. It's regarding my pending I-45. So I filed a VAWA case and I put my I-45 on hold. And in 2019, my VAWA case was approved. So I'm still waiting on that adjustment of status on my interview. Do you know how long does it take usually? Or once it's approved, they are considering as a new filing, as a case just recently filed, and I have to go by the time that shows on the USCIS website?
Yeah, you have to go from the date on the priority date from the I-45.
Okay.
And it's probably going to be about 3 years.
Oh, even though that was previous I-45 filed and put on hold, or doesn't matter?
What does that mean, put on hold? I don't even know what you mean.
So when I filed for my green card with my U.S. Spouse, there was an extreme abuse. So I had to put, just before the interview, I filed a VAWA petition and my I-45 was put on hold until the VAWA was approved. So the
Right.
VAWA case was approved in 2019. So do I take those 3 years from 2019, or how do I have to look at that case?
Yeah. Have you notified? I mean, I know that they told you that the VAWA I-360 has been approved, but have you like notified USCIS of that? I know they notified you, but you still have to sort of get their attention.
Yeah, I sent them a letter with the approval notice and also with the receipt for my I-45 back in 2019 once I got the notification that my case was approved. And from that point on, I don't see any updates and I haven't heard anything from them. And it's been more than a year. It's actually like 16 months, I believe, since my VAWA is approved.
Yeah. So I think you probably got about another year and a half.
Oh, so yeah, so I'm just about that time that I'm should be receiving that interview notice.
That's right.
Do you think I should go for my medical exam in advance?
No. Just wait. Just wait.
Okay, and if I don't hear from them, what can I do? Can I, how can I reach out to them, or can I hire somebody, or what can I do to see
Yeah,
what is happening?
we could help try to get their attention and get you ready for the green card interview. Just shoot us an email, info@hackinglawpractice.com.
Okay, and is that like a flat fee, or depending on the complexity of the case?
Yeah, it depends on where the interview is and all that stuff.
It's in my field office is Baltimore.
Oh, I'm going to be in Baltimore tomorrow. Yeah, just shoot me an email and we'll go from there. I just put the email address in the comments, but we'll go from there. Okay, Mimo?
Okay, so just to make it short, shoot your email and just explain in short term what's happening and what I'm looking for, and you can respond back.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your today.
All right, bye, buddy. All right, we got time for one more, and we're going to go to, let's see, Hassan. Let's see if Hassan, you got your audio working? Nope, nothing, Hassan. Sorry, buddy. All right. So we'll go to Anik. Anik's going to have the last call of the day. Hi, Anik.
Hello, how are you doing, Jim?
Great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So my question is that like my family had a B1, B2 valid visa since like 2007, and we renewed that a couple of times as well. My family traveled on that once, and like I used that like probably twice or thrice. Like we got it renewed a couple of times, and then we last renewed that on like August of 2018. And after 8 days, I applied for my F1 visa. I went to the US, studied for 2 semesters over there. And when I came back for my summer vacation, so I came back on my winter vacations, and then after that, I came back on my summer vacations. And when I came back on my summer vacations, like my dad got an email that said that our family's US visa were revoked. And we don't know the reason for that. And then I went back to the embassy. I got my new I-20 from the university. And when I went back to the Islamabad consulate, Islamabad embassy in Pakistan, they told me that they don't know the reason either, and they put me on 221G. And it's been more than like 11 months since there has been no like update on my visa interview, like on the SIAC website either. Which
is more important to you, the student visa or the visit visa?
The student visa.
Yeah, I would sue them.
You think that's a good idea?
We've sued them in the last 12 months. We've probably sued them on 25 or 30 non-immigrant visas, like F1s, F2s, H4s, H1Bs, where they just let people sit there stuck at the embassy. I think if you sue them, and they haven't fought us on any of them, they haven't asked for an extension. They've just granted every one of them. Now, you might be the one that they fight us back on, but so far they've reversed themselves every time. So I think that if you sued them, you'd get your visa stamp in about 3 months.
So there's a good chance of the visa approval as well.
Yeah, everyone we've done so far, they've approved every single one, without a fight, without any.
All right, perfect. That sounds great.
Okay,
so 3 months, right? 3 months, and then we get the visa.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim.
Yeah. So just email me, Anik, at info@hackinglawpractice.com, and we'll follow up. Okay, buddy.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim. Have a good one.
Hi, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and wrap. on today's show. I will be here, even though it's Thanksgiving on Thursday. I enjoy doing these, so I'll hop on if people are on and want to ask questions on Thursday at noon Central. We'll be here. Otherwise, I need to get to the airport. I'm heading out for an immigration interview tomorrow. Everybody, if I don't see you, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry I couldn't answer everybody's question, but we'll be back at it on Thursday at noon Central. If you have any questions in the interim, 314-961-8200. You can email us at info@hackinglawpractice.com. You know about our Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. Make sure to join us there. And finally, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get updates whenever we make our videos. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.